Alright guys, this is Rock Smash, keeping it classy, here with an opinion. It's no surprise to anyone. Today's video is about attacking with dragons. You'd think, given how powerful they are, that all you had to do was spam them and rake in the loot and cups, but it's just not so. Particularly if you intend to push for trophies. You really do have to pay attention to some things. Now this advice is based on what worked for me while pushing up to champs. And your mileage may vary, but I doubt it's going to vary a whole heck of a lot. If you go to the trouble of finding my clan and looking me up, you'll see I only pushed to champs. I didn't work on getting top 200 in US or anything because there's just not much point to it for me. And for the record, in these videos, I'm going to show videos that did not go so well. I could show all my fabulous wins, crushing my opponents, and you'd learn not a whole heck of a lot from them. Because, I mean, how could you really tell what went well? So I show some mediocrity and occasionally some outright failure so we can both learn from it, and I do it on both raids and on defense. So quickly, the things that matter in no particular order are spell composition, your heroes, the level of your dragons, the bases to attack and avoid, and the defenses you care about and the ones you really don't. So first we're talking mass dragons, not mass drags and a couple of balloons or mass drags and some minions to mop up. We're talking about dragons, okay? You really should have your heroes up before you attack. It's true of just about any kind of attack, but it's doubly so with dragons and I guess balloonians, which is my other favorite troop composition. But you need to have your heroes up because they're pretty much your last resort for saving your raid. The Archer Queen's ranged attack is incredibly valuable for getting that last building for 50% or for hitting that town hall. But you keep in mind, too, that the Burger King is incredibly stupid and will almost never do what you really need him to do. So keep that in mind as you put him down. You need to put him down with some judicious thought. Try not to use him up, because even a level teen hero will take roughly 2 hours to heal. So just use him to save the day. You probably shouldn't care too much about loot. It'll come. You're going to burn through the pink elixir like it's going out of style, so just be aware of that. As for spells, I started out with a spell set that I used with Balloonian, which was essentially 4 rage and a lightning. That didn't work so well. The lightning really is pretty much useless. Clan castle troops rarely ever mess up a mass drag raid, etc. So I tried 4 freeze in a rage, but I like having a second rage when the drags close in on the town hall. If you're pushing, heal is pretty much worthless if you're at a level where you see Infernos in irregularity because it does no good. So I found 3 freeze and 2 rage to be my best combo, but try a few for yourself and see what works for you. Also, freeze is awesome, but you need to level it up as quickly as you can afford to. The difference between 4 seconds and 8 seconds is a whole lot more than 4 more seconds when you're dealing with Inferno towers. While I'm talking about Infernos, let's move to bases and defenses to attack and avoid. Unlike when you use balloons, Archer towers is really no big deal, just don't focus on them. Wizard towers, also no big deal. X-bows, looking up can cause some trouble. But even they aren't a big deal. Just don't focus on the X-bows. Inferno towers can be a big deal, but mostly only if they're set to single target. Multi-target discos, even level 3, just aren't that big a deal, particularly if your drags are level 4. Single target, on the other hand, will chew through them like a hot knife through butter. Air defenses are your chief nemesis, mainly because the single target Infernos are fairly rare until you get up near champs. And I wouldn't even mess with high-level ADs unless they were right out on the edge. Usually when I use free spells, I always use them on air defenses. I will look for bases that either have the air defenses out near the edge, or if they're in the middle and close enough to each other so I could freeze more than one at the same time, or freeze an air defense and an X-bow, that kind of thing. If the base had an air defense in the middle layer or a single target Inferno, or all the air defenses were right in the core, then next is my friend. If you see a base with level 5 air defenses and you have level 4 drags, attack it. Level 6, level 7, then you need to start thinking about things. If you see a base with more than 1 air defense under construction, attack it. Always attack from a side that has you face only 1 air defense and 1 Inferno at a time. You know, invariably you're going to get 2 air defenses out on the edges, but that's not that big a deal. And on a closing note, use rage for speed as well as power, just like with Balloonians. The drags are slow, and your timing for freezing air defenses has to take into account how long it takes the drags to reach them, which again goes back to why if they're in the core, you can attack that base, but you want to make sure that you can freeze several of those air defenses, or a couple of those air defenses, with one freeze spell. I hope all this helps. If I missed something important, you think I'm smoking crack, or you have some questions, whatever, I'll gladly answer them in the comments. And thanks for taking the time. This Rock Smash out.